we see a lot of our competition and we see a lot of the people in the industry. Yeah. They're focused on having a big company, having a very high top line revenue.
Yeah.
Our vision is kind of switched a little bit. We don't want to be the biggest. We don't want to have the biggest team. We don't want to make the most money. We want to be the best at what we do. So our goal is to serve our community as best as possible by being the best that we can be with our, specialized and very exclusive team.
How did that kind of shift? Did you guys talk about that as a team?
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
Yes. We noticed that to be bigger, to do a lot of these, to scale at a high rate, you have to take on specific types of projects that we aren't very interested in. So we like taking on things that are more unique, things that can tell a story, something that really touches both us and our clients. Glad to be here, man.
No,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, awesome.
It's been a long time coming, right? It's been a couple of attempts.
Last week we had 10 days of freaking rain. That is insane.
Yeah.
It's busy?
Yeah, man. It's roofing season right now.
Dude, that was insane. Beautiful fall day. So, yeah, give the audience a little bit of a snapshot. Braga Brothers Contracting.
Yeah, Braga Bros Contracting, that's us. Family business, so it's me, 2 brothers, and our father. Our father has been in the business since the early 90s. He was primarily a subcontractor for other builders and general contractors that would use him and his large network of laborers to complete their projects. My brother Pedro, who's our middle brother, actually started working with him as an assistant project manager in late 2016. Started basically just learning the trade, helping my father out. My father isn't fully fluent in English. And from there, Pedro learned the trade. And then my brother and I, Tiago, came along in 2020, a couple years later, after realizing hey, they have something decent going on. Maybe we can help them out. Maybe we can take it to another level. And we came along and now we're here. I'm glad to be here.
How did that originally start? Did you approach your dad? Hey, we think we can help you out. Obviously you had to come with some value. You didn't want to be a freeloader. Right?
Yeah, for sure. So we saw how the business was being ran and we looked at other models of contractors and construction companies that honestly from Instagram and TikTok and everything, they looked like they were doing pretty well and they looked like cool companies. And we said, okay, we're pretty cool. And and our dad does some pretty nice projects working in some higher end, high class areas. What if we can document this and, make something cool out of it, like some type of a Netflix show or a TV show? And that's when me and Tiago talked about it. Tiago's always been tech savvy. I knew he had the editing capabilities, although he was never an editor or even tried editing. Okay. I knew just from his technological skills that he could probably put something together if we can grab some content. So after speaking to him and Pedro, I was like, hey, we can take this thing to another level. Daddy, our dad's doing good, but let's take this thing, let's level up here.
So that was from day one. You had that idea, that content, the documenting your projects, you had that in mind?
Yeah.
From seeing TikTok and the gram and everything?
From day one. I mean, we are we're Gen Z kids, right? We're young guys. So we grew up on editing our own Call of Duty videos, editing our video game videos. That's kind of in our blood.
Okay.
So when we saw TikTok of these companies doing these type of things, or we saw, car montages or whatever it was, we just thought, hey, we can do this with construction and make something nice out of it.
Wow. So brand first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brand is always comes first in our opinion.
Where did that come from? Was that like growing up, or were there iconic brands that you were attracted to? Or?
Yeah. So for instance, we were big video game guys. We were big football guys. When it came to video games, everybody knows FaZe. The FaZe is a clan of basically video game players. And we noticed okay, they became their own brand, their own video game brand, a team, an MLG team, basically, MLG, Major League Gaming Team.
Okay.
And after,
I don't know anything about gaming. So this is all new to me, but
yeah,
like a crew.
Exactly, like a crew, and they made their own YouTube videos. They started making vlogs, but it was mostly a lot of montages and things that made them look, cool, like things that we were attracted to. And after them came other, basically Major League Gaming teams that just started mimicking them, or it was them and Optic, really, just two big. Of the biggest video game things.
Okay.
And we said, okay, we know Toll Brothers. I remember when you met us, we kept talking about Toll Brothers. That was the big brand that we knew. Yeah. We didn't see much of their branded cool videos and stuff. We knew that they were the boss of the construction industry.
Yeah, Toll Brothers is a big track home builder, big community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they just in Jersey, or they?
Yeah, Toll Brothers is they're like S&P, not S&P 500, they're Dow. What is it?
Public company?
Yeah, they're a public company, so they're a big deal. And we said, and we were like, we looked up their story, and in our group chat before our company was made, I actually said, like, when we were literally just starting, when the concept was becoming the idea of the Braga Brothers, I said, these are the Toll Brothers. Look at their story. Like, these guys started in the 60s, 3 brothers, and look at this empire they built. Like, I think we can do the same thing. And once I sent that in the group chat, my brother's like, yeah, that's pretty sick. And that's when the idea started coming to fruition, started coming to life. And that concept of the Braga Brothers, we all kind of like, we saw it, and that's when we, decided to take action.
Wow. So is that still a vision, to be like, to have that type of a company, Toll Brothers, like an empire, if you will? You don't want to share all the secrets.
No, it's just the vision. I'm not sure if it expands that far out anymore.
Okay.
If we want to be that empire.
Okay.
We see a lot of our competition, and we see a lot of the people in the industry.
Yeah.
They're focused on having a big company, having a very high top line revenue.
Yeah.
Our vision is kind of switched a little bit. We don't want to be the biggest. We don't want to have the biggest team. We don't want to make the most money. We want to be the best at what we do. So our goal is to serve our community as best as possible by being the best that we can be with our, specialized and very exclusive team.
Okay. I like that. How did that like kind of shift? And did you guys talk about that as a team?
Yeah.
Like, was that intentional?
Yes. So we noticed that to be bigger, to do a lot of these, to scale at a high rate, you have to take on specific types of projects that we aren't very interested in. So It's a lot of turning and burning. It's a lot of volume, a lot of repetition, and that's just not something that we really are intrigued by. That's not something that really drives us. We like taking on things that are more unique, things that can tell a story, something that really, touches both us and our clients. So every time we take on a project or a client, it always feels like it's so unique, and it's like we're telling a story, telling their story. So it
has to be worthy of like getting a video of, right?
Exactly.
Like if you have like a small like 20 square roof, like an average doghouse or whatever, like
it's more like this, like siding. Like if we're doing like a vinyl siding job, which we rarely do, but it's not really anything special, So
we're not going to put that on the gram.
No, that's not making the gram. That doesn't make the cut, man.
All right. Well, I like that. I wanted to like dig into that vision because I think I know, because we talk to companies every day. We work with so many. I talked to a guy last week. He's like $2 million a year for the past few years. All right. His prospective client. All right. Where do you want to go? Like, what's your vision? Yeah, it would be nice to do 10 million. Okay. Like, yeah. All right. Well, like, why? Like, I don't know. Like, that's, I could do it. Like, there's no real reason why behind it.
Uh-huh.
I see that so many, like, all over, as you know.
Yeah.
It's like 10 million. I want to scale.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like,
why?
I'd rather, I don't know. Like, ours has shifted a little bit too, but it is more about like quality and controlled growth for me anyway. Profit's nice, And then the more, as a young company, the more projects you do, the more chance you have of things going wrong. And then potentially tarnishing your brand, right?
Yeah.
Try to do a whole volume of projects.
Yep, for sure. You start losing the quality control, and it's also like the quality of your clients and the people you want to be associated with. We want to have that small, exclusive team that delivers excellence. That really is about delivering quality. So if we're working with hundreds and hundreds of people every year, it's going to be tough to really deliver that level of service that we want to deliver. So like you guys are starting to specify on the clients you want, right? Like, they have to fit your vision. You guys have to be a good match for each other. It's the same thing with us. With each client we meet, we grade them. It's not something we tell people a lot, but me and Pedro, after every consultation, we talk about the grading of the project and the grade of the client. So if the client is meeting that criteria and that level of, that basically that level of a project that we want, then we say, okay, let's push a little bit harder for this one.
Okay.
If it's like a let's say a C-level project with an A-level client, it becomes a little harder for us to really focus on it because it's not the type of project we want to do. It's the ideal client, but they don't fit our vision. So it's really about being able to be, and that's something that we've been doing in the last 6 months. Really, is being more exclusive and turning people away. It's a two-way street. So.
Okay, a couple of things there. I definitely want to talk about turning people away because most people are scared to do that. But how do I become an A client? Like, or a prospect? Like, what do I have to exhibit in order to get an A?
Yeah, so it's really about the characteristics that you show from the first consultation. It's the questions you're asking. the level of service you want, you know, the type of project you want to do. If it's something that you're talking about, it's
I'm a good student. I worked hard in high school, college. I want to get an A.
Yeah. And hey, you want to be an A as a homeowner.
It'd be an A homeowner, yeah. I try to be an A husband, A father, but you know.
So like an A homeowner to us, like an A+ homeowner, somebody that generally they don't have to know what they want, but they want to be informed. You know, they want to trust us. They want the contractor to be able to teach them. A lot of clients we meet, they're closed off. You know, they've had poor experiences with previous contractors, so we can tell the psychology level on that aspect. Like when a client they're not giving us the information that we need to help them.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, it's like, okay, like, you know, we're coming in here, we're giving you our time, we're trying to help you, we're trying to be a trusted construction advisor.
Yeah.
It's something we share with.
Like
we try and help them in a system, and when they have like a stigma towards contractors, it's tough for us to, you know, break through that gap, because we're not really salesy type guys. We're pretty straightforward. Like, how can we help you? So just being able to be vulnerable and open to your contractor, that shows us right off the bat. Okay, they trust us. They're open. They're willing to accept some help.
Yeah, same thing with us. I mean, that's why we're hanging out, because we're like very similar in that aspect, right? It's like we have prospects who they're so closed off, and you try to ask them like, hey, well, you came, like, hey, we don't do any outbounds. Like, they come to us.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
You're not knocking doors.
No.
But like, came to me, you have a problem, you're looking for a solution, like, you got to share some information.
Yeah.
So we can help you. If not, like, if they're just going to treat us as like just another marketing company.
Exactly.
It was just another contract.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then that's like,
makes it tough to help. It tough to help. Really tough.
So back to like saying no, how do you get to that point? Because like a lot of contractors are, especially young, new businesses, are like scared to death of saying no. It's just like that's, you know, I don't know where my next job's coming from. I don't know the pipeline. Like, how do you guys get to that point?
It's really identifying who your ideal client is and your ideal project. If you're money driven, if you're bottom line driven or top line driven or whatever it is, it's going to be hard to say no. But if you have a mission in mind, a mission and goals set, it's really just being able to, you know, craft those clients and craft that idea of what you're trying to do around that vision and goal. So for us, you know, we want to deliver excellence. Part of our mission is to be held as trusted construction advisors, to glorify God by holding ourselves as trusted construction advisors. So at the end of the day, we have to tell a client like, hey, it doesn't make sense to do X, Y, Z because of this. Then, you know, we're going to tell them that.
Okay.
And if to us, like, a big thing that happens to us a lot is when clients reach out to us for a remodel. Okay. And they want to use a certain type of product that we don't believe in. For us, above trying to close on the project and just make money and just do a quick turn and burn, we tell the client like, hey, we don't believe in this product. We don't think you should be installing this product. If you want our opinion as trusted construction advisors, don't do this. If you want to do it, it's not us. We're not the company to do it. So
what kind of feedback do you get from conversations like that?
We get them wanting us to quote what we recommend, and then it ends up being like a compare and contrast. And generally, so far, it's been working out well as these clients, they start seeing the value in it. If they see that we're that determined to not do X project, they'll start saying, okay, they're going to turn me down. They're going to turn down $30,000 to not do this project. Who the hell will do that? Why in their right mind would they do that? And we just say, like, we don't need the work. We believe more in installing something we believe in versus, you know,
wow, trying to just make quick bucks. Them, because they come to you like they think they know what they want, but that's maybe because
that's all they know
has it, or they just saw it on a TV or whatever.
Yeah,
like they don't know what the options are, right?
Yeah. The thing is now, like, the consumers have an option, especially as homeowners. Before, in most of the Northeast or whatever, in the East Coast, everybody's done X product. And should I mention the product? Should I just?
I don't care.
Okay. So like in the Northeast, everybody, like 95% of homes are vinyl siding, right?
Yep.
So that's what everybody's always known. It's vinyl siding. It's a good product, and you know, it's not a bad product. It's done its job. But now the consumer has options to upgrade, to do something better, something that gives you a better ROI, something that's going to last longer, and something that looks better. And that's, in our opinion, hardy board siding, which is a fiber cement product.
Okay,
that's what we recommend.
Yeah, you got it on your shirt. You might as well mention it.
Yeah, so we talked about it. They haven't actually, but we can get some credits out of them.
I'm sure
they've helped us in other ways. I mean, the amount of branding we've been doing and the amount of expanding we've been doing, we call it branding and expanding.
Awesome.
They've helped us significantly. So we asked them for other stuff, you know, like help with our Facebook ads or.
Okay.
I don't want that to go public because then maybe other contractors are going to ask them. They help us with other type of stuff like, you know, yard signs, branding in other ways, a couple leads.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. So it's like they call it CoOp Dollars or like marketing dollars, or
as in,
I mean, other like contractors you talk to, like they might want to invest in our training program. Like, oh, let me talk to Hardy to see what they can ship in.
Yeah.
And they'll like see what they can ship in.
They help. Yeah. They help with a lot of things.
Okay. Nice. I gotta talk to those guys.
They're very open to marketing. I mean, to marketing dollars. I think they've invested, I don't know how many billions, but it's billions. Like they're a sponsor of the NFL now as of this year.
Wow.
So we saw that first game of the NFL season. It's like Hardy. And we're like, yeah, baby.
Not just brand awareness that helps you.
Yeah.
Because now the homeowner's like, oh yeah, I know.
I've heard of Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she goes on the TV once, like one football game. It's like boom.
Do you think I think that's a marketing
ploy? I mean, Travis Kelce. I saw like a Instagram post of his stats. They just blew up. Like 20% up followers. Like jersey sales. Like
ticket sales for last night's Jets game were like up 43%.
It's Chiefs Jets.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, you're on the game. You're not like you're not sitting next to her. You're not gonna talk to her.
Yeah,
you're gonna pay more just to say you were there. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. You can't pay me to go see a Jets game. No way.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, it just seems like I don't think anything. I don't know. There's always more than meets the eye. I think that's a big joint marketing strategy. I'm not saying there's no connection between her and Travis. They took that and just like branded and expanded it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's going into it. They probably know like, hey, we're getting something nice out of this. Like, being on TV. Like,
NFL's tapping into a whole
different market.
Females, you know, like my niece was watching the game last night. Like she was watching the ball, you know, like crazy.
Looking for Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So, what is branding and expanding? Like, what does that mean to you guys? What do you do?
So it's really about something that we learned from our amazing construction coaches over at Contractor Dynamics. Yeah. No, I know, but it really is like, I mean, there's no way to get around it. We started as a company that was doing $400K a year and less than 5 roofs. We were a general contracting company, and Joe came into our office and he started teaching us these little concepts. Like the biggest one is being 5 mile famous. So 5 mile famous, it's freaking huge, man. So in 2022, I'm gonna give you some numbers. 2022, we worked on 4 projects in our hometown of Homedale. 4 projects. So that's like general contracting.
Okay.
Anything. So I think it was maybe like 1 roof or something.
Okay.
Year to date, 2023. Today's October 2nd. We're on project number 36 in our hometown.
Wow.
Yeah. So branding and expanding. So how do we do that? I mean, I don't really want to give too much away.
Oh, that's all right.
But every project is branded in multiple ways. So our crew members are always wearing Braga Brothers shirts. So we have our direct crew members versus other contractors that have a lot of different subcontractors.
Yeah.
Our guys, they're our guys. Like they're on our projects constantly. So for siding, we keep 2 groups busy, basically year round.
Awesome.
For roofing, we have a crew. They're not directly our crew, but they work for us, same crew every time.
Okay.
We also have a giant yard sign on every project. We use our catch-all system, which is branded on every project. Nice. And then something that we haven't seen before that I don't know if other people have done it or not. Probably, I'm gonna assume they have. On the dumpsters, like, you know how every project has a dumpster? Yeah. We put like a giant, like 8x12 yard sign. I mean, not yard sign, 8x12 banner on it, Braga Brothers, with a magnet. So when people drive by, they're seeing our trucks. They're like two, 3 or 4 trucks on the project at a time, because either my father, Pedro, I, or Tiago are always on the projects. They're seeing yard signs. They're seeing branded yellow shirts. They're seeing our catch-all system. They're seeing a dumpster with a freaking banner. So it's stuff like that. And then also with Facebook, with social media, it's repetition, posting every single day. So we're on social media, Facebook and Instagram, every single day.
Yeah, make every job site is an opportunity for a giant billboard, like I said. And that's like, you know, maybe you're not going to get a billboard on the highway, but like every job site is a billboard.
Yeah.
And it's more valuable because people can come by and see your real company.
Yeah.
Maybe they can stop by and talk to you, or maybe they know that homeowner that you're working with, they can talk to them.
For sure.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's such an opportunity.
Yeah. Neighbors are always driving by, walking their dogs, you know.
So. That's another thing. If you guys are trying to do 1 million projects, you would not be able to plan every project because it just takes materials and time and money and all that. So now you're able to like pour more into the projects that you are doing.
For sure. But I'd say the biggest one is social media.
Yeah.
Which is where, I mean, all of our businesses, so 100% of our business is from social media, referrals, or people seeing our yard signs or trucks.
Okay.
So we don't do any SEO, we don't do any mailers, or we do a little bit of mailers when there's a neighborhood we really want to target.
All right.
But social media, Facebook and Instagram is our biggest lead sources.
Okay. Now, a lot of people watching this or listening to this right now are going to say, that's very interesting, because I, as a contracting company, have tried Facebook and Instagram and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So without giving away your secrets, like what would you say to those contractors? Like, I mean, maybe you guys didn't have a lot of bad experiences because you started working with us right away. No, because like right out of the gate, you had that intention with like, that's how you want to build your brand. I think a lot of contractors, they're in business for 5 years and they're like, oh yeah, let me try this Facebook thing. You guys did it from day one, but like, so you might not have had a lot of bad experiences, but so many contractors do.
Oh no.
Skeptical, and they're like, I don't know how to do it. Like, what am I missing?
Yeah. It's consistency, man. It took did you know that? It took a while, man, but I don't know. We started working with you in December of 2021. December of 2021. We put together our marketing plan, which is what we wanted to be, solely focused on social media and expanding that way. I think we started officially posting after Tiago went through the initial dynamic Facebook ad training. We made our first Instagram post in like February or March of 2022.
I remember you guys were like getting ready for like you're hibernating for the whole week.
Yeah. So we were trying to put together our idea because we knew when we started we wanted to be consistent. We didn't want to stop.
Right.
So our first post came in like the late February, early March of 2022, and from then it was just posting every day, every single day. Just the idea was just post every day, whatever it was. Just make sure people were seeing us, people were starting to follow us, people were starting to see what we were about. And the thing about it was, you know, it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, like a ton of time and effort, a lot of work, a lot of scripting, and we actually didn't get any results for a long freaking time, man. As in, like, our first client from social media, from that lead source, was in December of the same year. So started in February, first client was in December, and it happened to be our biggest project of the year.
Wow.
So it was that feeling of like, yes, finally. And yeah, man. Literally. And then from then on, like, it just started rolling. The ball was rolling. Like, we noticed like we were getting leads. We weren't closing all the jobs or all the projects, but we were starting to get leads and we were starting to see traction, like people starting to comment and our like count going up, and, you know, people saying, oh, I see you over here, or I see you over there, or what we get a lot is I see you everywhere. And, you know, from then on, it was like we have that what's that word, that omnipresence. We have that omnipresence in people's mind, and that's just how it feels now. Like, you know, everywhere we go, it's like, oh, I see your chucks, or I see you everywhere. It's like, oh, like this morning I went to the bank and the girl, swear to God, so I was at the bank, the tellers know me because I'm always depositing fat checks, man. so the girl's like, randomly, she's like, oh, I saw your Tesla the other day. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, your Tesla. She's like, I was like, oh, how'd you know it was me? She's like, you're famous. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, so that's
one customer at the bank.
Yeah.
Highest depositor.
Yeah. Hey, let's go, baby. The girls know Luke. That's just how it is. So yeah,
nice.
It's a good feeling, you know, just knowing that everything we're doing, specifically my brother Tiago, who had to, like, you know, do it from nothing. Like, he wasn't like Pedro, who had that construction knowledge and that production experience, or like me, who's like a workaholic. Tiago just kind of started from scratch. Like, I strong-armed him into it, and was like, you're gonna do this, and it's what we got to do. And
they're just so focused on, man, how do I do some content today,
right now,
and get some leads out of it today or this month?
It's not realistic.
Thank you.
It's not realistic. I mean, like that expression goes, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, right? And for us, you know, it's not just us, it's years in the making for our father too, who sacrificed a ton for us to live in a good town, for us to get a good education. So for him, honestly, this is like 30 years in the making.
Amazing.
To us, that's how we see it as brothers. And it's like, all right, now we're here now, you know? We're here, now it's time to make the most of it.
Yeah. What did he think about all this when you guys first came to him? You're like, hey, Dad, like, I know you're amazing, you do, but now we want you to, you know, think about it this other way.
Yeah. I mean, he's on board. Yeah. He always said, like, you know, he's always been our biggest motivator, our biggest advocator. You know, he's always been a fan of us whenever we played sports, whenever we did anything in school, with whatever it was. He was our biggest supporter. So for him, having us come along and do what he's doing, he's like, this is my dream. You guys have the potential to be big. they say like these people that are foreigners, they see us Americans, they're like, they have amazing opportunity. People don't really know like the sacrifices, the things that these foreigners have to go through to really, get big. And he sees us, he's like, all right, you guys have everything it takes. You have the brains, you were born here, you guys have skills, talent, knowledge, the resources, you guys are from a good town. You guys can do something nice out of it.
Yeah.
Build something nice out of it. So
I love that. I'm not an immigrant, but I love that immigrant mentality because like, I feel like you have such appreciation for the opportunity, like your dad does, right?
Yeah.
From Brazil, right?
Yep.
So he has an appreciation because he grew up in Brazil.
Yeah.
And now he's in America. He's like, you could do anything you want.
Oh yeah.
And I think we take that, like I'm a 6th generation American. So like I'm American, like, like
yeah.
I'm sure I take it for granted. I try not to, but
it's tough, man. Even like us, like, we understand being in both worlds and having connections to, all our friends. We grew up in a town that was all Americans, and then we have our friends and some cousins and family members they came here, they're not first generation. They're not American, basically.
Yeah.
So we see like the struggles that they go through, and we try not to take it for granted, but sometimes you get caught up in it, like you're saying, you forget how blessed you really are.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. So how does it feel now that like a couple years in, you guys have actually built what you told your dad you were going to build?
Yeah, I mean, our dad knew this was going to happen. And he knows it's just the beginning. We all feel like it's just the beginning. Like,
yeah,
like we're literally just getting started. So but what it feels like, it feels good to see results.
Yes,
after putting in so much, sweat, blood, and a lot of freaking tears. On my side, at least,
yeah,
you know how it is. There's some nights where, as like an entrepreneur, as the one that's leading it, it's freaking tough, man.
I know. Last week, man, it was
brutal. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
Just like in the valley.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where the skin gets built, right? It gets thicker.
Totally.
Yeah, the calluses, the mind calluses. That's where it gets. Yeah. But just seeing it all come along and come together, it's just like we're getting a glimpse of what the future looks like. That's what it feels like right now.
Okay.
So it feels like we got a little taste of the success.
Okay.
It's like, all right, now it's just time to keep on building on what we got now. So keep climbing.
All right. How's your dad's life changed? Or is he doing the same thing he was doing?
Nah, he's part of the team, man. I mean, we're all the unit now. So now, before he was a one-man show, doing the whole thing by himself.
Okay.
And now it's like, all right, now feels like we're building an empire.
Okay.
Getting a lot of helping a lot of people, being of service to a lot of people, and being a presence a dominant presence in the market. Like, we feel it's something that he was never able to compete with the big guys. That's what we call them, right? Like the guys that have been around for a while. Now it's like, they know who we are. We're on these consultations, we're on these projects, and there's people asking like, who are these guys? So for him to be in the mix, involved with us, and this is
he used to sub to them.
He did a lot of work for a lot of these bigger companies, these bigger contractors.
So now you're going head to head with these companies that have been around for like generations, for years, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, that must feel pretty cool.
Yeah. This is how he says it. We're like a little rock in their shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're becoming a presence to be felt, for sure.
You got to think they're probably, those big companies, they're established companies. I know them. They're probably like scratching their heads, being like,
what's going on?
Where'd these guys come from? Like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah. There's some evolving that needs to get done. And big time by them. So we're on these consultations where we're competing with them every single day, and we see some of their systems and processes and some of the things they're doing, and it's like, we see like, all right, if you want to keep doing that, so be it. But we're stepping the game up a little bit, so you guys are gonna have to adapt to us.
Wow. So you think a lot of those guys, like, they've been busy over the last 30 years because they have that name and they've gotten comfortable just kind of doing what they do?
Yeah, I mean, they have that brand that's established. They have their database, their CRM, CRM full of clients where they're, doing good marketing to, like the repeat, like email marketing or whatever it is. But reaching
it's probably not good. Come on.
we don't know, but like to reach that next generation of people, when there's multiple generations coming up where, they don't care about your company that's been in business for 50 years. No offense. They want something different. They want something that's gonna, they want that high level service, that quality, something that's gonna, pop up at them. And that's what we're trying to be like.
How do you guys compete? Like, you don't compete on price. Like, you're not the low price guy.
No.
How do you guys differentiate yourself in the sales process?
Yeah.
I know you put in some pieces there. You don't have to share everything. But I can tell. I was asking.
Yeah.
But what's your, at least your mindsets and pricing? Like, so I think because a lot of new, like, younger companies, they want to come in and they don't know how to differentiate. They probably are insecure about being younger, which you might have had some feelings
for
about.
sure in the beginning. Yeah.
And you're like, well, in order to win this job, like I am not the guy who's been around for 20 years, so I gotta
be cheaper
price.
No.
And there's a lot of that. I'm sure there's a lot of companies that might even do a lot of top line and have like no profit because they don't know how to price jobs.
For sure.
So what's your guys' approach to that?
No, so we're definitely not the cheapest. We're actually, even though we're a smaller company, we're on the higher end of the estimate. So if there's 10 contractors, we're probably around 7 or 8 at the top priced. But that's just because of the service that we're delivering and the quality of our team. So when you're dealing with us, when you're working with us as your contractor, you're dealing with 4 owners. You're not dealing with salespeople. You're not dealing with random project managers or whatever it is. You're dealing with the owners who have extreme ownership, who take extreme ownership for the projects, who take extreme ownership for the entire job and the level of satisfaction that you have. So we hold that close, like near and dear to us.
Okay.
So whenever we take on a client, it feels like it's a personal relationship. Yep. That's something that we stress to our clients a lot. You're not dealing with a salesperson that's just trying to come and get the job, sell the job, and then pass it on to, you know, some random person. It's not like that. We want our brand to be held high, to a high standard. So that's one of our main selling points.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you plan to grow beyond that? Because at some point, we don't have to. Maybe not self-server.
So that's what we were discussing. So the type of company we want to be an exclusive team.
Okay.
And with the way that our company is being set up for the next couple of years, with Tiago coming out of architecture school and getting his degree in architecture, we see our vision going more towards a design and build type company.
Okay.
So as of right now, we're exclusive to roofing and higher end siding projects like custom remodels.
Okay.
In the future, we see it coming together as like a design and build custom exterior modeling type gig.
Okay. Not interior? Exterior?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Exterior.
Cool. And you guys would still be the sales people, or you get like eventually hire sales people? Or?
For now, we're having fun with it. Okay. So for now, so let's say we have a part of the company that just does roofing and siding, like more standard roofing and you know, standard siding projects, like higher end standard siding projects. We can have some help with that. But let's say we're taking on bigger projects in nicer towns that require a lot of general contracting to do.
Got it.
That's where we would be at the front.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Right now, Elizabeth and I are doing sales. So we don't have any sales guys.
Okay.
It's been awesome.
Okay.
I'm not like a sales guy. I'm a marketing guy, I'm a relationship guy. But like prospects love it because they're talking with me or Elizabeth, our COO.
For sure.
And like, we've been in the trenches. We're not trying to sell them anything.
Yeah.
It's been great. So I don't think we'll do it forever, but at least for the rest of this year, we'll do it. And then when we do hire someone to do sales, it's going to be a very slow process.
You posted something the other day that I really liked. It said, we're not trying to build a product that, it went something along the lines of, I'm trying to build a product that people are going to want to buy, not something
I'm not trying to sell my product to someone or something like that.
Yeah.
I want to be the company that people desire to work with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the same vision that we have, you know, versus trying to just sell people and turn and burn. We want to be a company that people look at us and they're like, I want to work with them. And what does it cost to work with them? What kind of project do we have to do? And they'll see eventually, like, if I want a high quality end result, that's the company I have to work with.
Right.
It's the same thing with you guys. When we started working with CD, it was like, you know, we couldn't really afford you. to be honest, to be honest, he came to the office and gave us a little cash discount, paper cash, right? But we really couldn't afford you at that time, man. We couldn't, but we saw with the post, we were already following you for like a month and a half or so, and we saw the type of person you were. We're like, I mean, this guy's serious, you know, he's legit. Like Joe's he's the real deal. So when you're working with that type of person, you know, there's no room for BS. It's like they have good intentions. Right. They have your best interest in mind. So when somebody sees that, when people like us gravitate towards that and see that, it's like, it's like a no-brainer decision.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at our company. I'm like, man, I wish we could grow faster. You know, I wish we could like, you know, just go charge ahead. But then I realize like it is about quality.
Yeah.
And there's no finish line. I'm playing this game forever.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not in a rush, you know?
Yeah. You're like just getting started, man. That's what it feels like. You just literally.
We're 10 years in.
Yeah. That's them, right? I mean, that's what it looks like. Like you're taking it like you literally just turned up the notch like a couple months ago, like less than a year ago, right?
About a year. Yeah. Just, that's been getting the right team in place and just like getting myself out of the bottleneck situations. You know, that's been a game changer. But tell us about your upbringing, because like you're freaking dialed in as I want to learn about your upbringing, your parents, because you're freaking focused. And your brothers are dialed in, like super impressive. You're like almost half my age, or a little bit more than half my age, but like you inspire me because you're so freaking focused. And like the things you're talking about, I was not nearly as mature when I was your age. How old are you? 24?
26, about to be 26.
All right. I was like not where you're at when I was 25. I had priorities, I guess, if it's that. But yeah, tell us about your upbringing. I mean, your parents must be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing up to us. It felt like growing up in that immigrant household where we were different from everybody. You know, we saw our parents struggle a lot. When our parents both had to work, so both working parents. Yeah. Growing up in a town where just it didn't feel like we were the same as everybody. Okay. And we weren't treated the same, honestly. A large part of our upbringing, you know, we got hit with some stuff. We got bullied a little bit, being a little different, and that just put a chip on our shoulder ever since. You know, every time we walked into a sport or started doing something different, you know, we knew we were different. We walked in with that attitude, with that mindset, like, hey, like we're here now, like we're here to play. We're not just here to participate. We're here to win. So growing up in that household, our parents always, you know, they always supported us. They always gave us words of encouragement. And just seeing them struggle for most of our life, it was a little bit of motivation for all of us. Okay. So it was a Christian household. Yeah. Good Christian values, strong values. Our mom was very much a disciplinary mother. Okay. But there's some stuff that, you know, you can't tame the big dogs forever. So so in our house, we all consider ourselves like pit bulls because we had to be. In our circumstances growing up, it's if we have to defend each other, we have to defend our own selves, right? Yeah. So that's really what it was, man. We always just had a chip on our shoulder at the beginning.
Your parents must have done pretty well. Like you guys went to St. John Vianney, right?
Yeah. So
it's a private high school.
Yeah. So Homedale High School, obviously Homedale's a nice town. Pedro went to private school. Tiago had his first year or so of college paid for. You know, our parents, they were entrepreneurs. So they didn't, it's not like, you know, they made decent money, but just to keep up with our lifestyle. Yeah. And 3 sport athletes, like that was all of us. It's a lot of running around. It's a lot of sacrificing to be done. So it's not like we struggled as in, you know, there wasn't food on the table. It was more of a struggle like, hey, vacations aren't really a thing. You know, we're not going out to nice dinners or anything. We're living a very simple life. Yeah. Simple life to sacrifice for, like, you know, the life that we want to live, which is being athletes. You know, wow. We loved every part of that. So it's not anything to complain about. It's just how we grew up, and it shows today because we're simple guys. You know, we're not really seeking like the shiny objects or anything. We're just trying to do our thing. Okay. Yeah, I remember that conversation you and I had a while ago about, like, you know, how much you guys are paying yourselves, and it was very little. You're not like the contractors that have to go out and buy the big fancy trucks or the Rolexes or whatever, right? Like it seems like you're pretty modest. Yeah. Everything goes back into the business. Yeah. Like, right? Is that so everything we've made for the last couple of years has been basically reinvested into the business. My brothers and I, we have a long-term vision, and to achieve that long-term vision, a lot of short-term sacrifices have to be made. Yeah. And part of those short-term sacrifices is sacrificing, you know, all these luxuries that a lot of kids our age, or just people in general, it's the pleasures that they indulge in. You know, just short-term pleasures. Yeah. We don't see value in now. So it's really just about being able to make that short-term sacrifice for that long-term vision.
What is that long-term vision that you have for your life?
I see myself being a very good father. My vision is focused on being a family man. So my biggest dream is to get married and have a big family. 7 kids. Yeah? 7 kids. Awesome. Yeah, that's what I want. So everything I do now, at least for me, I can't speak for my brothers, but I know they have a similar mindset. Okay. But for me, everything I do now is revolved around that long-term dream that I have, which is that. So I know I'm not oblivious to the fact that it's expensive to have a big family, right? So I know for now I have to make these sacrifices so that in the future I can afford to have that dream. Good. So
awesome. How about, you mentioned your Christian values? That's important to me, so I want to talk about that. That's cool with you. Yeah. It's in your logo, right? And your logo on your shirt. You have it on your sleeve. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Or it's
on my arm and then on our back too.
Okay. Yeah. Talk about that role in your business.
Yeah. So we consider ourselves a Christian business. Okay. We grew up in a family with strong Christian values. Our parents always try to instill those values onto us. What it means for us to be a Christian business is our mission. Let's talk about our mission, which is to glorify God by holding ourselves accountable as trusted construction advisors. So what exactly does that mean? You know, that means we're going to tell you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. You know, we're going to do the right thing 99.99999999999% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes we're going to make a mistake. We're not perfect, but we're going to try our best to always do the right thing, basically. Yep. Another thing that we really hold ourselves close to is our mother, who for the last 4 years has been running a nonprofit organization in Brazil. So she works in Brazil on her nonprofit organization. She's there like 8 months of the year. Okay. She works directly with churches to provide impoverished families with daily necessities like food, clothes, and shelter. We've contributed a fair amount to that, so we donate 5% of our net profit every year to that organization.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
So she's gone for 8 months of the year?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's back and forth from Brazil like 30 times a year.
Oh, wow.
A lot of flights.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and your brothers, your dad, it's like, you know, figure out how to
support her,
feed one another, and
yeah.
take care of one another.
At home, it's like just the dogs, man. Just the dogs. Like we go home, it's like, I mean, Dad makes dinner. Sometimes we order takeout, and then it's like at the dinner table, just talking business. It's to me, it's a dream, man.
Yes.
I freaking love it. It's like it's like the dream team.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
yep.
And then you do some stuff too. You do camps in the summer, right, on Pennsylvania? Or
Yeah.
what's that?
So it's basically volunteering at a camp. It's basically like a missionary camp. So it's ISC Inspire Sports Camp.
Okay.
It's a camp that they work with underprivileged youth to provide them experiences to get closer to Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So last year was my second year volunteering there, and since, I mean, like every mission trip, it's a life-changing experience. You know, you go into it and you have high expectations, but you don't know what you're going to be faced with, and you come out of it just rejoiced. You come out of it with new life, basically. It's like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. My boys this year were dogs, man. They were just like me, man. We call ourselves, we're the big dogs over there.
All right.
Yeah, we ran camp.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out big dogs, man.
I am the big dogs. All right, so you're a pretty disciplined dude, which again is probably why we get along. You know, consistent discipline.
Oh yeah.
Where I assume that came from your parents, or
Yeah. Oh yeah. So dad's been a 5 a.m. guy since I was born.
Yeah.
So I've seen my dad he's in construction too, right? So these guys are always up early. Yep. Ever since I can remember, it was before I woke up, Dad was out of home. Okay. Dad was already on the job sites or whatever, that I wouldn't generally see him till maybe sometimes he'd pick me up from school or whatever, but wouldn't be till nighttime, till dinner time. So seeing that growing up, you know, it was inspiring. Seeing him make it in our town, inspiring. I knew I wasn't oblivious to the fact that us being in that town was a result of his hard work and all the sacrifices he was making for us to be there. I saw very clearly the difference between him and our friends' fathers.
Okay.
Who were, you know, they were very established, very well educated. And what I saw in my dad was just, you know, pure grind, pure hard work and grit and resilience. So for me, I was seeing that like firsthand every single day of my life growing up. It was like, all right, that's just how we are. That's who he is, and that's who I am now.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I try to model that for my kids. I mean, I am disciplined. I love working. I love working out every morning. And I just like pray that my kids like somehow absorb some of that, you know? Because like, well, you don't know, you don't have your 7 kids yet, but you can tell your kids to do everything and they don't do anything, but then you see them like modeling your behavior.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. Like,
actions speak louder than words, man.
Yeah.
Whether they get it now or not, you know, I didn't get it till I was a freshman in high school. I didn't really understand it fully till I was a freshman in high school. That's when your mind starts developing, right? So when I started adding things up, I was like, and I started being more aware. I was like, okay, that's how it is. I think that freshman year of high school, going through some stuff that I went through, really opened my eyes to the fact that, you know, you're kind of on your own for the most part. You're gonna have to work for it, and seeing how our father, like circling back to that, he was on his own. Yeah, he was making it happen by himself. So
yeah, I think like, you know, up until 10 years old, you can kind of, as a kid, just kind of go through the motions. Your parents do everything for you, and then you got to kind of like, you know, push them to, you know, become a man. Yeah, you know. At
the same time, this is when he starts revolting, though, right? A little bit. This is when you start seeing like the man in him.
That's interesting. Yeah, we're trying to have like those interesting conversations. Yeah. What's your daily like routine?
I love the routine, man. I'm a creature of habit, and having that routine every day, the consistency in the routine it's what I live for, honestly. So whenever I'm away, it's like I miss the grind. Like I miss the routine. So my day for the last basically 3.5 years, it started anywhere between 3:30 and 4:15 in the morning. More recently, it's 3:30 as we're a little more dialed in. Wake up, get on my knees, pray, thank the Lord for another day. That's my thing. Weigh myself. Weight goes automatically into my scale. Put my headphones in, start putting I like to listen to motivational speeches. So a lot of motivational podcast speeches, mashups. Yeah, so like just the mashup. So my main one is Ben Lionel Scott on YouTube. So he basically mashes up a bunch of speakers and puts some motivational music in the background, and I eat that up all day.
Ben Lionel Scott?
Yeah, Ben Lionel Scott. I've been listening to him since I was 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
16 years old, yeah.
Okay.
This guy's, and his content just gets better. From there, teeth routine, breakfast, gym. After the gym, cold shower 6 days a week, and then office. So I usually get to the office around, so it's gym 4:25 to 6, cold shower 3 minutes, and then office around 6 o'clock, 6:15 every day. And then it's just work 6 o'clock all the way till 5 or 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then shower, dinner, sleep.
Yeah, when I first invited you over here to do this content, I think I said let's do it in the evening. It was back in the summer.
Yeah.
And I want to do like golden hour right before sunset. Like,
No go.
Like we do earlier, I'm usually in bed by 7. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, wait, he must have been at like 9. I'm like, no way. It's admirable for sure.
Yeah.
How about like social life, dating, social life?
Not much of a social life, man, honestly. With the circumstances we grew up, I watched a lot of older people speak about stuff, and one of the things that I really believed in is sacrificing your 20s for a better life in the future. So something that a lot of these speakers would say is, your 20s are meant for grinding. Really, your 20s are meant for learning, and your 30s are meant for earning.
Yeah.
So right now, it's a lot of learning, it's a lot of work, just putting my head down and grind. So as much as I have a lot of friends that are good people, but it's, as of right now, in the stage of life that I'm in, it's really just about working.
Okay.
Saying no to these things is really just saying yes to that long-term vision that you have and that goal that you have. So it's really just knowing what you want out of your life and what you want out of yourself, and being able to make that commitment to and make those sacrifices. Say no to those things, those short-term pleasures.
Sure.
Whenever because those things are going to come up basically every day, right? You're going to have an opportunity to take those pleasures or indulge in those things that are going to keep you away from that long-term goal and that long-term vision. You just have to be able to say no.
I think a lot of people, like myself included, like a people pleaser, a nice guy, I love people, I want to say yes. And like that gets you in more trouble than you realize. Not like socially, but also business-wise as well.
Yeah.
Different opportunities as you grow, more people want to reach out to you, and hey, you're gonna get this from contractors. Hey man, you guys are crushing it. Can I pick your brain?
Yeah.
Can you hop on a call? And at the beginning you might be like, all right, cool. And it's just gonna be a distraction,
It's happened a couple times. So we have a lot. By us doing most of our branding on social media, we have a lot of young contractors, people who are trying to get into the game or already got into the game, or they're following their father's footsteps that had a similar path as ours, and they reach out to us, and we try and help here and there, but it's time consuming.
Yeah, you might need to have your own podcast. So you can
just running the business alone is it's time consuming, right? And we're wearing a lot of our hats, and that's right now we were able to because we don't have that many commitments like those relationships or those friendships. So but adding another pile of work on top of it would be tough.
Yeah, I see a lot of contractors because it's like a trend. Like, I want to start a podcast. Like, people reach out, the contractors reach out to me.
Yeah, they don't know.
Hey, can you tell me what to get? I want to start a podcast, and I'm always like, why?
Yeah,
because they see maybe people like me or like people that are much bigger and better than me, like Andy Purcell or Ed Milet doing it, and it's like, dude, it's just a distraction, unless you're doing it at a local level and you're interviewing other local businesses. Like if you were to do that, interview other local businesses and really build that brand and make them famous, make you more famous, awesome.
Yeah.
I see a lot of contractors, they just want to like I've been on contractors podcasts like in Texas, why you're having a podcast, right? Practice, and cause they want to have people on, great if they're a client. Yeah. But it normally is just a distraction, because it takes a lot of work.
Yeah. And they don't realize that, right? They just want to do it because everybody else is doing it because it's the cool thing to do.
Exactly.
But you have to have a motive behind it. Yeah. And if you're trying to set something up, like you're saying, like doing it locally to build brand awareness or to help other small businesses. Okay, that's something that sounds right. But
That's an amazing strategy. Yeah.
but are you willing to put the time in to do that? Because like people don't know how much of a commitment it is.
I started to stop this podcast a few times before we started getting consistent.
Yeah.
And I got consistent because I got feedback from people like, oh, I like your content, or I listened to it.
Yeah.
Might have been only 2 people, but I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
One of our salespeople at one of our suppliers, he listens to your podcast without us even knowing. And one day you mentioned something about us and he sent it to us. He's like, yo, this guy, Joe just mentioned you on the podcast.
Amazing.
Yeah, so without to us, I was like, whoa, Mike, his name is Mike. Mike's listening to Joe's podcast. Nice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get that feedback, like that's what keeps you going, because it takes time, it takes money, it takes energy.
Yeah. Now, question for you, like, where are you trying to take CD? What direction you guys headed in?
We have a 3-year vivid vision of what we want. So like we have a vision on what the business looks like and feels like on December 31st, 2025.
Okay.
So we're, a year and a half out from that, I guess.
Yeah.
And so we're building toward that point. Beyond that, honestly, I have a little bit of an idea, but it's not like set in stone. To me, it's tough because like so much changes, especially in like marketing and business.
Yeah.
It's hard to say like, here's our 10-year plan and we're going to stick to it.
It's tough. You have to be able to be dynamic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. 3-year vivid vision. That's like on paper.
Yeah.
And then we have a 10-year kind of like looser one of things that we are looking to do. And that's part of my rock, actually, before our next leadership meeting on October 20th. So I have 3 weeks to get that like kind of mapped out a little bit more on what I see for that like 10-year vision.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can talk about that.
Now your 3-year vision on track or off track?
Some things are on, some things are off. So if you look at it from a revenue perspective and number of clients, we're behind.
Uh-huh.
If you look at it from a team, a leadership team, a well-oiled machine in terms of bringing on team members and hiring and training them, and Joe not being
the Joe show,
we're way ahead.
Nice.
I thought that like part of that vision is to have the company running where I am not like I'm still in it, but I'm not like essential to the operation.
Yeah.
And that's kind of happening like by the end of this year. That'll kind of be more or less like, it's been like Elizabeth is rock star, her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Benny's on our leadership team, Sydney. It's happening fast.
Nice.
And that's like EOS. Like I know we talk about that a lot, but like I drink the Kool-Aid. It's been a game changer. So our foundation is so strong that like when we hit the gas on like marketing and advertising and all that, like we'll be good.
Yeah, you'll be ready for it.
And it's funny, the things you wish for, right? Like God has his plan, we have our plans. Like I would have wanted, it's like sometimes I beat myself up because we're not like at our revenue goals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, all right, well, if you look at it, like I'm right where God wants me to be right now, and where he wants the business to be right now. So the fact that maybe we're not growing as fast, but we're building a freaking rock solid foundation. Yeah. But like being dynamic, like we have like quarterly leadership meetings where we're like, all right, like, should we try this thing out? Should we try that thing out? And we'll talk about those things, and sometimes we do, and we'll see.
Nice. What about with the family? Your kids, I know they're big into sports.
Yeah, well, that's like another part of my vision is like I want to achieve more and grow the company more and expand, but I don't want to work more hours. Yeah. I know that's like sacrilegious to the contracting world where it's like you've got to freaking grind and like, I'm at the point in my life where I want to work less. Yeah. Like I love working. I want to work, full time, 40, 50 hours a week or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Or if it's 20,
you're cool with it.
If I'm working 20 one week because kids have something going on or we're going away or whatever, and I'm working 50 the next week, like I want the business to be steady no matter how many hours I'm working, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's like kids go to school, but their education comes from the home and the parents. Oh yeah. Our parents. Yeah, like, so I want to be like involved.
So as a dad, have you found it challenging being obviously the visionary of such a successful company? Have you found it challenging to be able to balance it too?
Yeah, there's no balance.
There's no balance.
I was running with my Dennis yesterday. We were talking about that because he works for a big company, like big corporate, and works a lot. And like he'll have like 100-hour week, and then he'll have like a 30-hour week. So it's like work life fit. Yeah. Like sometimes there's seasons where you're gonna grind. Like from right now through like mid-December, We have 5 events going, like 3 conferences we're going to, 2 of our own events, and we have a ton of stuff going on. Like it's going to be a big push. And then like mid-December, I'm like off a little bit. Yeah. But in the meantime, like I'm, eating breakfast with the kids every morning, dinner with the family every night.
Yeah.
Like I don't work weekends, go to every soccer game.
Being present where it matters, right? Where it matters.
Seeing where your feet are. So that's more important to me than like growing the business 10x, I'd rather grow the business more slowly than, and then be around. So.
Yeah. I asked all these things because, I'm starting to be more conscious of and plan. I really started planning. So I'm very curious to how different men really structure their life and structure their family goals, their business goals, their personal goals, because we have all 3 their spiritual goals. So
yeah,
it's something that, we all face that challenge. I get questions from some people, at church or whatever, like, oh, you work a lot, like, you should hang out with us. It's like, like you're saying, it's not really the time for balance. In the future, I feel like I will be able to dedicate more time to certain things, but right now it's like, it's
well, I
it's a
focus
different
more
move.
on energy than time. Like a lot of times, like, so what gives me energy? Like business gives me working gives me energy, my team, family, working out, sitting out here by myself, reading a book or meditating.
Yeah.
Like that gives me energy. Graham Desert, you seen him on Facebook? So Graham's a buddy of mine. The Murph, right?
Yeah.
So Graham set the Guinness Book of World Records. He did the Murph every day for an entire year.
I think I seen that guy on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But last year we were texting. I was like, hey, like, what are you training for right now? But he's like, right now, nothing. He's like, I'm just doing everything I can so that when I wake up in the morning, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty much kind of like where I'm at,
Yeah.
Like I'm training for a marathon right now. But besides that, like everything I do, I just want to wake up and feel like
Tuned in, right?
ready to go.
Locked in.
So
Training for a marathon?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's the split looking like?
Slow, because I'm going to probably do it out in Colorado, like right after a Denver event.
Okay.
So our Denver event's Thursday. They have a leadership meeting on Friday. There's a trail marathon on Saturday morning in northern Colorado. And I was just looking at this last week, and it's like freaking perfect. It's gonna be slow.
So how many miles are you booking a week right now?
20 to 30.
Okay.
Easy. Yeah. Last week I did a 20-mile run. That was a good test. Push myself.
So another question for you, like, you see us, you've been with us since what it feels like the beginning.
Yeah.
You literally seen us from where we started to where we are now. You follow us along on the journey. You see our social media. We talk pretty often. Any advice in general? You
Stay the course, man. I think a lot of people like in your position might be like wanting to go faster, or you're getting bored with the routine. Maybe not you, but a lot of people listening.
Yeah.
Then it's like entrepreneurial ADHD. Like I don't have it. I don't think you do. But a lot of entrepreneurs have you get addicted to the chaos. I think I have a little bit of that too. So if there's no problems in the business, that you're going to like go create something, like even like inadvertently or subconsciously, right? Just so you can like be valuable and go fix that problem. Or you just get bored with the routine and you go,
Okay. Stay the course on our business, right?
Yeah. Any other advice? Follow your core values, man. Like you guys have core values. Yeah. Like we didn't have core values until year 9. Like I have values, but
Team core values, right?
it's a company written down where everyone knows them and we go over them in our team meetings and we make decisions by. Like today we're in a team meeting. We were talking about a couple clients that need a little extra love right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, what's the best path forward? And Sydney had to like write an email to one of them and we were kind of like coaching her through it. Like, hey, we want our clients to win. This is how we're going to help you win, is what we're going to do. And you need to show up to this call and like that sort of thing. So like every day we're making decisions based on core values, and it's you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
It's like your Christian values, your core values, maybe it's one of the same.
Yep. Follow your core values, stay the course.
Yeah. Keep that long-term vision in mind. Most companies, dude, don't know what they want. Like they just want to grow because like that's what you see on Instagram.
Because they want to make more money.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, if they want to grow, it's probably because they want to make more money. Right?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people, that's a lot of people's driving factor.
Or be careful, like, Gary Vee, right? Like you remind me a lot of him. Not your personality, but like your upbringing. Gary?
Of course.
So I was watching some Gary Vee, like Daily V videos last night. I don't watch a lot of YouTube at all, but like that's my like, it's not even guilty. I love, it's not a guilty pleasure. Just, I love, like, it's just, to me, it's like, it's awesome. The Daily V's are like his life, where he's like, he flew to Saudi Arabia for 36 hours, did like a gazillion meetings, flew back. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
It just like, I think it's so cool.
Highlights the day-to-day of like the highest level entrepreneur, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, do I really want to do that? No. Like, I have a family.
Yeah.
Like, I love Gary. He's got 2 kids. He got divorced last year. I don't know any details about that. He doesn't share any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's cool that Gary does that stuff, and I love watching it. I think it's necessary to like really do some introspection and get clear on like, that might be cool. Like, I don't really want to be like Gary. I don't want to be Gary Vee.
Yeah.
But I owe a lot of my success to like following his advice.
Yeah. I mean, that's something like, you know, we have to really dive deep. Like, would you say introspect?
Introspective, I think.
Introspective.
I think that's the right use of that word.
It's really knowing about, really getting a clear picture and vision of what you want, right, out of your own life. So, you know, you can try and compare ourselves to the highest level entrepreneur, Andy Frisella or Ed Milet or whatever. But is that something you really want? Do you want to be that highest level entrepreneur? Because it's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to take your entire life. As of right now, I'm in a stage where, you know, I do want that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is what I want. But is that going to be something I want when I have a family? Comes time to actually, when I meet my person and then we start having and building our family, maybe that motivation is going to switch a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people might say that's like tempering your ambition, or one calls it the ambition brake, like putting the brakes on your ambition. To me, it's not. I mean, I still watch guys like Gary, and that inspires me to push further than I would normally, and think bigger than I would otherwise, you know?
Yeah.
Like Ben hanging out at his office last week.
Ben? Oh yeah, with Gary Vee. Yeah, so like he interviewed him, right, for his podcast.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome. All right, so a lot of people listening or watching are like, all right, this guy's got like this perfect like life, business. What are some of the mistakes you guys have made like early the first couple of years? Or some of the like, you know, mistakes, or some of the like the really like trying stressful times, or just like when you guys are really trying to figure out the next move? Or
our biggest mistake was trying to be like everybody else and trying to do what other people are doing versus doing what we feel is the right thing to do. So in the beginning, when you're not doing that much business and you see these other guys killing it, you're saying, oh, I should be doing what they're doing. But some of those things aren't true to who we are and our values and our mission. So it's really the biggest mistake is not staying true to who you are and those things that you value. So what I would tell people is really get locked in and have that vision of yourself and your company and what you guys truly believe in, and then follow that. Don't compare yourself to those other companies that are doing X, Y, Z. I was actually having this conversation with Kenny 2 days ago. Kenny from 180 Contractors, and yeah, me and him talk a lot. That's my guy, man. I mean, me and him resonate with each other a lot.
Awesome.
So we were talking like we see the strategies that these other businesses are implementing, companies that have been around for at the same amount of period that me and him have been in the game, and how fast they're scaling. After, you know, discussing with them, is that something we want to do? Do we want to sacrifice our core values and our vision of ourselves and our integrity to be like those other companies just because they have a huge top line or they have a nice bottom line? At the end of the day, you have to make that decision within yourself. Is that who you want to be? Is that the company you want to have? Or to us, we both mutually agreed, like, no, we don't want to be that company. We really want to be that company that people can trust, that they can lead on for you know, reputable advice, for right, be trusted. So
yeah. And if you don't have that vision, you don't have those values, then you're gonna like try to attach yourself to someone else's vision or some other company.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna be able to go back to your own values and vision because you don't have any.
Yeah.
So you're constantly chasing like, oh, I should try that. Oh, I should try solar. Guys are not clear on what they want.
Yeah. Chasing the shiny object, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was our biggest mistake in the beginning, for sure. Problems that we had before was just the fact that we were a family business and running things not like an actual business. So getting the business and personal mixed up a little bit too much in the beginning. I talked about how we talk about business and dinner. Now we have things more systemized to where it's more controlled and it's not chaos. If you're just getting in the game, or if you've been in the game for a while and you haven't been growing, is investing in yourself and investing in your company and hiring the right people to help your company, right? So for us in the beginning, we were hesitant to make those sacrifices, although we weren't in the position to afford it. It's hiring help, basically. So we started with you guys, then eventually we started adding a team. We added CPAs to our team to help us with taxes and with business growth. Then we added a financial consultant recently within the last year, and that's been insane. It's been, shout out to our boy Muhammad in Pakistan, a lot of help for us. Yeah, we have a CFO out of Pakistan, so like an outsourced CFO or virtual CFO or whatever, and that's been huge for me because I'm learning. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a high level of education. So for me to learn finance and to learn business from somebody that's, 20-year vet in business and is a CFO for multiple companies, that's freaking huge for me.
How'd you connect with him?
Through Alex from from Oasis, the landscape company. So that kid's another beast. He's something else to talk about. He's like a huge landscaping company, or a nice sized landscaping company in Maryland. And, I always reach out to people for advice and to pick their brains. And he put me on with Muhammad from Analytica Consultants. And it's nice having that kind of background on your team. So it's huge. But it's really investing in, going back to the main points, it's being able to sacrifice your bottom line to make the investment to grow your business, to really take yourself to the next level. That's what a lot of people are scared to do, I've always been a person that's always invested in myself.
Yeah.
So business, personal development, whatever it is, I can hit it big today, and I'll put that all back into our business or into myself just to take it to the next level.
I agree. This year I could probably could have doubled my personal compensation this year.
Yeah.
Pretty much stayed the same. I gave us a little bit of a inflationary raise as everything's got more expensive, but like that's it. Like everything goes back in the business,
Yeah.
And we just hired this year a fractional CFO, and like I have a finance degree from a pretty good college, but that was 20 years ago. You don't really know the stuff until you actually do it.
Yeah.
You don't learn it in textbooks. You don't learn it in college. But that's been a game changer. Yeah, just having someone that's looking at everything, and you make decisions.
How often are you meeting with them?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And what do they do for you?
One of the meetings per month will be like just reviewing our financials from like the previous month.
Yeah.
And the next meeting will be more like strategy, more like, all right, hey, we're gonna hire, we want to hire another marketing trainer. We want to hire a biz dev person. When do you think a good time is based on our financials that we can, really comfortably afford this person, right?
Yeah.
So for like business development person, it's gonna be January 1st. All right, well, we started interviewing 2 weeks ago already. So like we're planning for that, so things like that.
Nice.
Trying to pay less taxes.
Yeah.
That's always fun game.
Yeah.
Legally and ethically.
Yeah.
I'm always like, whatever there is to like utilize as a small business, because there's always more things to utilize than we're doing, Like I want to do everything we can as long as we do everything aboard.
Yeah.
I'm not getting audited, but like that's huge. But like looking at like our ratio, so for us, our biggest expense is labor. Like we're a service business, so we don't have freaking siding or roofing materials that we're buying. People. So like our total labor as a percentage of revenue is like a benchmark that we look at. So right now it's pretty high because we're overstaffed. So
if you don't mind me asking, how much you pay your CFO?
They are $3,500 a month.
$3,500. Nice. I mean, that's how much we pay.
Really?
Around there, yeah.
Wow.
We pay $3,000 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. We're like his smallest client.
Okay. It's a lot. Yeah.
But I don't know if we're as big a company as you guys, but the amount of value he provides to us, to me, it's because we were paying the other company that we were referred to, and we were paying them like $1,800 a month, and the amount of value, $1,800 or it's $3,000 that we get now, it doesn't compare.
I mean, that's for a young business, like that's a big investment. That's $42,000 a year. That's a full-time employee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of people don't have that mindset.
Yeah. And to us, it's invaluable. Yeah. I don't want him to know that.
Yeah.
I can't tell him that. No, he knows me. Yeah.
That's living in Pakistan.
Yeah.
You mentioned like investing in yourself. Number one, a lot of people aren't comfortable doing it. And number two, a lot of people don't make enough profit to actually be able to do it. A lot of business owners don't know their numbers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're making a profit, so they have money to then invest.
Especially in construction, right? Where the barrier of entry is low. You don't need any schooling or education.
Yeah.
To be a contractor, you go open an LLC, you get your home improvement contractor license. You don't even need insurance.
Yeah.
You don't even need your license really, and clients will just throw you work.
Yeah.
And the margins are high enough to where you can make a decent living, not really, being well established and knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
But the thing is, those type of companies and those people, they stay at the same level for a long time.
Me, my first few years when I started, like, we weren't making any money, any profit. Like, I was making a living, but
A salary,
you know?
You had a nice paying job.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a hard job. It's a hard job.
I mean, being a business owner and just having a paying job, it's not really worth it, right?
Yeah. That's why, like, I love to share as much as I can now, like 10 years in. I'm still learning every day. It's one of our core values. I don't really owe it all. But, like, man, like, I learned a lot of hard lessons for 10 years.
Yeah. Trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Ton of trial and error.
Sometimes I think it's just by the grace of God that we survived. Like, sometimes,
You get lucky, right?
yeah, you get lucky.
Yeah.
You know?
But that luck is basically just a bunch of things you did right. It's like the penny doubled every day. I feel like you feel like you're getting lucky, but if you didn't do X, Y, Z in the last 6 months, you probably wouldn't have got that spot to get lucky. That's those blessings, those random, things that happen. It's like, okay, it was random, but I see it as like, okay, if I didn't do this yesterday or for the last 3 months, it probably wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been in that position to receive that.
Totally. Yeah, we did slow sales about the jet in September. And I was like, beat myself up, but I was like, no, I'm just going to continue focusing on doing our daily activities. And it's going to
I was watching a Kobe video the other day, and he said something along the lines of the results, no matter whether they're positive or negative, they're going to happen. So understanding that life is cyclical the word, understanding that it's just a cyclical process of ups and downs. Once you detach yourself from that result, it's hard, but it's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Talk about the grind. What's your routine looking like?
My routine, I think I shifted a couple hours. I wake up at 5:40 and I do my morning routine before I go to the gym.
You're back in the gym now?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I run. So 5:40, wake up. I have a 24 ounce, one of these mason jars with 24 ounce of water and pink Himalayan sea salt and fresh squeezed lemon, like natural electrolytes. So like my wife and I have this like personal rule, like we have to drink full one of those before we have coffee. Like you have to rehydrate.
Okay.
So I do that while I do my daily meditation. I usually sit on the front porch, or in the winter I'll sit inside. I have to do it in the morning. I want to like potentially forget it at night. So I do that every day, and I do the Bible app every day. Right after that, I do the verse of the day. It's like 7 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So I'm
using what app? Bible?
It's the Bible app.
Yeah.
It's so I'm at 156 days in a row on that.
Right.
So that's pretty solid. And then I will I'll read 10 pages. And I will read through on Evernote here on my phone. I have a list of like my goals and core values and like affirmations and things like that. I read through that out loud. And I do my morning social media posting, having coffee by this time. And then I'll go to the gym or I'll go for a run. I'm back, breakfast with the kids before they go to school. And then I'm like in the office by 8:30 or 9.
Nice.
So
And work.
my whole morning is like shifted like 2 hours. And then I go to bed at 9:30. So,
Okay.
I want to get that quality sleep. What's that?
Go ahead.
No, I track my sleep on my Apple Watch. I like to get 7.5 hours of net sleep. So like I might be in bed for 8 hours, but like if you're waking up in the middle of the night or whatever.
Adding 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 net. So that's my routine.
Okay. How many hours a week are you logging in work?
So usually it's like 9 to, lately it's been a little bit more. It's been a heavy 9 to 7, I'd say.
Okay. 10 hours.
Yeah.
5 days a week?
Yeah. Weekends I'll do more like, I'll read a little bit more. I'll do some journaling. I'll write some content. I'll usually do that before the kids wake up. Like I have my couple hours in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'll do a little bit more of that stuff on the weekend, like more of like thinking about the business and things like that. Thinking.
That's working, man.
I'm very rarely do I touch my computer on the weekends.
Oh, wow.
So it's more just like thinking about things.
Okay.
Creative, because you need that like visionary time.
Yeah.
Like sitting here and just like put the phone down, just like
Thinking. Meditating on everything, personal, business.
And then running, that's when I think of like everything. Like, bam, that's when all the ideas flow.
Really? When I work out, I shut it off, man. Music is turned all the way up.
Okay.
Can't think of anything but the next set.
Okay, that's cool. When I'm working out, it's music. When I'm running, it could be podcast, music, depends.
Okay. Going back to what you said, like on the weekends, you're saying you're doing that every morning? like basically the visionary stuff in the morning?
Yeah, because on the weekends, like, so during the week, I try to go to the gym before the kids are like up so I can have breakfast with them before school. But on the weekends, I'll just kind of do maybe a couple hours of like my routine and reading and stuff in the morning. They'll wake up, maybe at breakfast, maybe they'll go to the gym a little bit later, you know?
Yeah.
Have more flexibility on the weekends, you know?
Okay. Interesting. I find weekends are the fun time to basically let your mind free and like that visionary stuff. Like I love that you said that because I relate to it. During the week, you're kind of in the middle of it, right?
Yeah.
We're still in our businesses. We're working both on our businesses, but we're still involved in our businesses. So it's hard to have that time to really jot your creative side out and like let it out.
Totally.
So
Or like I'll watch YouTube videos like with intention. Like I'm not scrolling random shit. A lot of visionary or like part of the visionary's job is R&D, like research and development.
hell yeah.
So like I like this guy doing. I really like this guy's content. Like why do I like it so much?
Yeah.
You know,
How do I implement it?
how long are his videos? What's his background look like? How's he editing it? Like I'm always looking at that stuff.
Yeah. R&D,
R&D
research and
development.
hell yeah.
Yeah, like a product company like Nike will have like a whole team of R&D that researching different things. Like I do that a lot as well.
Yeah.
That comes from EOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the things they teach.
And this is now, and like our kids are 11 and 8, so they're around on the weekends, they're hanging out with us. Now, like a little bit more, they're hanging out with friends. So might as well have like 3 hours in the Saturday afternoon.
Not turning on the football game or the base.
I had 4 hours yesterday because like family went to the soccer game, and it was like Sunday NFL football. I'm like
Not interested.
zero.
Yeah.
Grew up like I go to Joe's game. I'll go to games. That's the experience.
Yeah.
Personally, I lost the desire to like.
It's crazy how it switches. Like your hobbies, the things that you were interested in. Right. Growing up, I was obviously huge into sports. I knew everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, soccer, and then eventually you get so tuned into your vision, and you become the main character of your own movie. It's like, all right, I care about what I'm doing. Like I'm focusing on me. And
Yeah.
you don't really have time to give your energy, your time, energy, your resources. You don't have time to give them to those other things.
I mean, like you and I have talked about it. Like I go hang out with like friends. They might be talking about like movies or sport.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Like
You're kind of like a fish out of water, right?
yeah, isn't it weird?
But then when you get around the people that are, like minded, like this, you can actually. I've had a conversation like this. I don't think it was with Kenny. With Kenny,
Michigan.
Yeah.
Daddy, get over here, buddy.
He visited back in the spring, I think, or spring or summer, and I was like, dude, this is my person, man. Like this is the type of person I really enjoy being around. Other than that, it's tough to relate. Really is. It's a challenge, and it sucks. You like friends growing up. Like I had an awesome friend group growing up, and we got along, and we did everything together. We were super tight. And now it's like one of my brothers still hangs out with a lot of them, and I have nothing against them, but it's like it's hard to relate when you're in a different world and your mindset is in a different place. It's freaking challenging, man.
All right, so lightning round of questions, kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
Whole time.
Yes.
Before you, I know your bedtime soon.
It's dinner time.
All right, dinner time.
Yeah.
So let's see. You win a contest, and you get to work with Taylor Swift in a marketing campaign for Braga Brothers Contracting for 3 months. How are you going to utilize her fame to help you expand and grow your brand?
Wow, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I figure I'm gonna be doing a lot of singing. My brothers and I will probably be singing a lot, doing some shooting some music videos. I think we have the personality to get in front of the camera and do something like that. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
What's your next travel destination?
We're going to Brazil on December 15th when we wrap up the year for a missionaries trip with our mom's nonprofit, and then we're gonna be traveling a little bit of Brazil. Me and my brothers and I.
Awesome. For how long?
It's gonna be from December 15th till January 3rd.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Good for you.
Yep.
What book are you reading currently?
No books.
Okay.
I started the year very strong, a couple books, but since then, been very busy. So since March, we've had our best month on top of best month. Basically our best month every month since March. So haven't really had time for anything but business.
Nice. I don't know. Thanks for all your time, man. Anything else that you want to make sure that you get out to the world, to the millions and millions of people?
Stay true to yourself, man. Stay true to yourself. Don't let other people sway your opinion of yourself. and the confidence that you have in yourself, because that's what a lot of people are going to try and do. I would say that'd be my advice for people.
Awesome. Love it.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, brother.
Been a pleasure, bro.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time coming too. I know we tried this like 10 times, but
Hey, it's all a good size. It's perfect weather, perfect night. All good.
1, 2, 3, yeah.